There are two main types of institutional units: households and legal and social entities. A household is any group of people who share living accommodations. They may pool some or all of their income and consume collectively certain types of goods and services, such as housing and food. Households are comprised of individuals or families resident in the same economy. If the household consists of several members, each member is not treated as a separate institutional unit. However, when a member of the household moves abroad and stays there for more than 1 year for reasons other than studying or medical treatment, the member becomes a separate household. Legal or social entities are those entities that are recognized by law or society, independently of the individuals or entities that may own or control them. These institutional units are responsible and accountable for their economic decisions. However, in many cases, other institutional units may constrain their autonomy. For example, institutional units like corporations are controlled by their shareholders. Legal or social entities can be further subdivided into 3 groups of institutional units: corporations, government units, and nonprofit institutions. For macroeconomic statistics, corporations include all entities that can generate a profit or other financial gain for their owners. They are set up for the main purpose of engaging in market production, and they are recognized in law as separate legal entities from their owners. In macroeconomic statistics, there are 2 general types of corporations: legally constituted corporations and quasi-corporations. A legally constituted corporation simply refers to a legal entity that was created to produce goods or services for the market. A quasi-corporation may be an unincorporated enterprise, which is an entity not legally separated from its owners. Among quasi-corporations recognized in macroeconomic statistics are branches and notional resident units. Branches are not separate legal units from their head offices and do not generally have a separate set of accounts. For a branch to be considered a separate institutional unit, it needs to operate in an economy different from its head office. It also needs to meet some other criteria, among which are to have a complete set of accounts or to undertake production that is based in a territory other than that of its head office for 1 year or more. Financial corporations and construction companies are the entities where branches are most likely to occur. A notional resident unit is created for holding of land and associated buildings, as well as of other natural resources that belong to a non-resident owner. This is because, by convention, in macroeconomic statistics, land and associated buildings cannot be owned by non-residents. Therefore, the non-resident is treated as owning the notional resident unit rather than owning the land, natural resources, or structures directly. This treatment is designed so that land and other natural resources are always assets of the economy in whose territory they are located. The second group of legal or social entities are government units. Naturally, government units are established by political processes that have executive authority over other institutional units within a given area. As an institutional unit, the main function of a government unit is to provide goods and services on a non-market basis. Other functions include engaging in non-market production and redistributing income and wealth by means of transfers. Government units are financed by taxation or other income. The last group of legal or social entities are nonprofit institutions. Nonprofit institutions produce goods and services. However, unlike corporations, these units are not allowed to be a source of income, profit, or other financial gain for the institutional units that manage or control them. Examples of nonprofit institutions include charities and relief agencies. Nonprofit institutions serving households, called NPISH, are a subset of nonprofit institutions. They are entities mainly engaged in providing goods and services to households or the community at large, free of charge or at prices that are not economically significant. By defining institutional units accurately, there would be no double counting in macroeconomic statistics. It also ensures that units are appropriately classified. For instance, external debt liabilities contracted and dispersed by the government units are included in the external debt of the general government, while the liabilities of a corporation that is a producing unit is classified as corporations' liabilities and not government's, even if the government controls it.